I mean, elections historically for Bitcoin, at least speaking in price, after the elections have resolved. So this would be, later in the year after November, December, and into the spring. Bitcoins at least, during those the cycle where the halving and whatnot, those years the price has started its sharpest part of the run. So there's still hope that this winter there could definitely be some movements, but it's still yet to be seen. And I'm still pretty much for Bitcoin's sake. Like if you're someone who holds solely Bitcoin and that's all you're doing, I'll share this screen. There is one chart that I'm watching, right? And it's this one. If you're just watching Bitcoin, and it's the Pi cycle top indicator. If you want it, DM me, I can send it over to you. But looking at it right now, you got the orange line and the green line, and historically, Bitcoin's price is when it's ever fell below the orange line, right? Which we're currently right now just trending, below it. It's either during a bear market or it's after a mid-cycle top, which that's what we saw back here in 2019. We saw that mid-cycle top, and then it kind of traded below it. Obviously, it got above it, and then you had the flash crash when COVID happened, which sent it back under it, but only briefly before it reclaimed it, and then it was off to the races to set the new all-time high. And then if you go back to the last cycle, obviously you didn't really have it after the bear market ended. You didn't really have it go under. It just kind of bounced on it all the way up to the top until there was new all-time highs. I think that's what a lot of people were thinking was going to happen here. But instead, we kind of look like we've just been trading sideways for the most part and down, but not really, any drastic moves down. It's just kind of been trading sideways. And I think that's where we're kind of like repeating a mid-cycle top like we saw before. And it's yet to be seen where this bottom will form. But, I think it's still very likely that once we do reclaim it, we're going to get above that green line. And right now that green line is sitting right at like 102,000. So that is where I would suspect the price of Bitcoin to go if we do get a rally after the elections into this winter above 100K. I don't know how far above 100K, but just like you're looking at that 2017 run where it just bounced along that orange line all the way. You could see some 20%, 15% pullbacks, as Bitcoin runs during that time. So I wouldn't expect it just a clean shot to 100K, but, running to 80K and then falling back a little bit, run to 100 to 110K, fall back a little bit, and then maybe it sets a new all-time high at like 140 or something crazy. That's kind of my thoughts.